Strategy and Snark presents Dungeons and Dragons Online. Welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the Harbinger of Madness quest chain. It is located out here in the harbor. Originally I was out in the 12, thinking it was a completely different quest chain. That's the sequel to this one. I forgot that this one existed. But that's why we use the quest log, so we don't overlook things. So, out in the harbor, there are reporters, I guess, is what they are. The free agents, they have a newspaper. So we're going to go to the Chronicle editor, and there's been some disappearances lately. So we're supposed to go help one of their reporters find out what's been going on. So good old Goodwick. If I can get close enough to actually click on him. There we go. He says the Saltire district has been having a lot of people go missing. So we're going to go investigate on his behalf. I'm not sure how that really helps him investigate. Like, he's a reporter. You'd think he should be the one here. But, now that I think about it, that's applying real world logic to it, right? This is an adventure-y world, right? If people are going missing, that means shit's going down, and there's no way that the journalist is equipped to handle it. They probably almost exclusively use first-hand accounts from adventurers. So what you got, Mr. Spurgy? So every time somebody has vanished, a mysterious warforged wearing a hat has been spotted nearby. So, Mr. Berno Vass says that there's some crazy people out here, and if we find anybody crazy, poke them, and he'll come deal with them later. This guy thinks it's the local gang is the one abducting people, so if I find their hideout, I'll find my answers. So here's an example of a crazy person. We just give them the mark of madness, and that marks them so that the 12, the Mages Guild, can come by and grab this guy later. Lever is, of course, on the other side, although I'm not convinced I couldn't make that jump if they didn't have that fishnet thing there, right? Which would actually make it easier, because you could just... I, big fat man, I could make it across there. But anyway. What they want you to do is check out this, this bar looks like it's seen better days, okay? And then for some reason, the gate lever is in the basement. I mean, even the rats have been killed. This place is not a happy place. So we step out, we cross. I was going to say, I thought there was dogs that were going to attack us. Just some random dogs. Cross the bridge, and over here to the left we have a guard. He works for a... Hey. Get up. He works for a warforged in a large hat, but he will not let us pass until we bring him some evidence that his boss is actually doing something wrong. My sword is bigger than him? My sword is bigger than him? But no, we'll find some evidence, okay. I guess technically we are working for a newspaper, so if I actively go commit crimes, that wouldn't sound so good in the story. Look, a mad woman. We're not going to find them all, but, on the off chance we happen to walk past them. So we're going to start by just going into these random buildings. There's only one path you can take, so you don't have to worry about, screwing it up. This whole pack is horror themed. So even if I go the wrong way here, there's nothing there. Things are supposed to get spooky. So we're getting like a psychic flashback or something. Something radiating off this guy. The music goes all screechy. I figured out why the stupid audio's been screwed up lately. Annoyed me, but now you don't have to listen to the screechy noise at max volume unless I remember to fix it. I fixed it ahead of time. So, the school teacher. Crazy. Attendance book. Bill of sale. He sold all of the school children. I would not have given him a mark of madness. Not for selling the school children. Bonk. Handled. I mean, they've even got like a play set and everything. Honestly, I'm not sure why we aren't melting that guy. I don't care if he was crazy. Like, you don't get a second chance for selling the school children. We never save them, by the way. We never see them or anything. Like, well, we might see them, but you wouldn't like what's left of them. So, when you get to this little courtyard, what you're going to want to do is pull that lever. So you have to swim down in this little manhole, pull the lever, and spacebar to get back up out easy. And what that does is excuse me, what that does is it stops the water coming out from this other sewer drain. It also makes a bunch of Xoriat, evil, like, madness-themed monsters spawn. Hey, Madman. Madman? So we are in some sewers, running around. In the sewers, we are going to find bat. Bats are just in the way. The lever here opens this door. This is optional. This is the Swiftfoot Gang headquarters is down there. The entrance is trapped. It's going to have some blade traps of some kind here. There it is. We go lever in the back of the room is going to open this door. Lever in this room is going to open the opposite.
The carnage around you shows that somebody else.
The rats are sitting here. The rat is eating the thief. So it was obviously not the thieves. The thieves are also victims. Nobody cares, but they are technically also victims. So we're going to take their stuff and kill these random demons that are sitting here. There's an interesting rapier that can drop in that chest. Oh, it's been a long time since I played a rogue, so... Oh no! We've been attacked by Taken. Apparently the Taken have just wrecked the hireling. I don't know about you, Haystack. We have had some highly aggressive, highly capable hirelings, and then you have just failed at everything. His only job right now is to cast Death Ward, and I didn't even bother pushing the button. Anyway, we are now in the rooftop area. And we're just going to keep moving. There's a gap in the roofs. That's where we're heading. So the Taken are these like Cthulhu style tentacle, giant eyes in the wrong spot monsters. They are something. They are definitely something. They are not immune to being cut in half. So, I'm not particularly threatened by them. Thrackhounds, on the other hand, you should always attempt to kill Thrackhounds fast, because they will attempt to kill you by casting instant death magic. Which I probably can't be hit by, but let's not try. Alright, so now that we're across, we're going to drop down into this room. And which way is it? It's left here, right? Sir Borson's diary.
The final entry in the diary reads, "This Smythe is involved in questionable activity." But
So,
I'll use the Borson name
the Warforged
to
guy was
well,
bribing
so I'll
him
keep
to
platinum my way. In any case, no one will notice the disappearance of some common street rabble.
I think this was like a noble or something, so he was bribing the city council, basically. Or the local council, not the city council. Stormreach is the city. He was doing something obviously illegal and paying off the politicians. Oop. Turned around. We're going to exit through the room that had the book in it by climbing this ladder. This guy has a weird house. I'm guessing this is like a big manor estate or something. Like, why would you have a ladder up to a ledge to have your, like, drawers and everything, but no railing? Like, this guy's just asking to fall. And this is your main way out onto your balcony? So, big old fiery ghost dog thing right there, right? Let's go smite it. It's like a cold hellhound. Comes with a toy. A +2 upgrade tome of dexterity. We just got another tome. It's not a great tome, but still. Like, we got a tome not that many episodes ago. Wow. So upgrade tomes are kind of worse than regular tomes. You have to already have the original tome. And we just lost our connection there. Guess we'll find out if we still have the tome. There is a fairly large windstorm going on right now, so I'm not super surprised if the internet just kind of stays out, but we'll find out in a moment. Okay. The next day. The storm knocked my internet out, so we're going to find out together if that tome we just picked up is still in my inventory. You see, this is the chest we had. I played through the quest back to this point. I just killed Palefire. We have it still. I was not sure we would still have it. Because I had picked it up, but then we like almost immediately lost internet, so I didn't know which side of the loss the button was on. Alright, so my rare item is safe. That makes me happy. Tomes are... they're not needed. You can get through this whole game, even on the highest difficulties, without having to go into the store and buy a +8 to everything tome. You don't need to do that. Will it make your character stronger? Yes. But you can get by just fine without those last couple little points. Just focus on your gear and your action, focus on learning to play the game. Like, play the game properly first, because being aware of your character and spacing and your spells, that's going to be more important than just having a bigger number on your stats anyway. And you can get up to +5 tomes for free just by playing the game. And sometimes you get them in chests. So, that being said, some tomes are very helpful. So this is a dexterity tome. If I wanted to play, say, a 2-weapon fighting character or an archer, but I'm not using one of the classes that gives you all those feats for free, you can use the tomes to push your character stats high enough to not have to actually put as many build points into it. Remember when we started this character, we started with 8 wisdom, and I have to wear that item in order to cast my spells. Well, with enough build points, if I got up to, I think 36 is the top, I might be able to put 2 points into wisdom, and then if I had or even 1 point of wisdom, make it a 9. And then I have a +5 tome from just reincarnating after getting 5,000 favor. You're only, the first 6 times you do that, you grab 1 of each tome. There's no point in having duplicates. A +5 tome and 1 whole point into wisdom. I never have to wear a wisdom item again. My paladin will forever have a minimum of 14 wisdom. Similarly, we needed to put points into strength to get the 2-handed fighting feats, even though we are a charisma-based character. Any strength tome means that I get to take those points and character creation back out and put them somewhere else, like charisma. But outside of just hitting thresholds for feats, the tomes are not that important. Nice to have, but not worth freaking out over if you don't have it. Hello, crazy guy. On a boat? You should probably not be on a boat if you're crazy. I think the only difference on this playthrough is I hit a few more crazy people, so we actually can go and turn in the crazy people back at the start of the quest. Alright. Moving on. So we killed Palefire after jumping down that balcony, loot the chest. That door is where we want to go. The one with all of these zombie kind of look. Are you undead? Aberrations. They are not undead. They are aberrations. They're also really squishy. Like, they're kind of just cannon fodder. So, this little doorway here with the gate leads us to our last piece of evidence, which should be right here. Armory account book. 8 dozen sturdy iron cages warranted to hold prisoners. Ordered by Mr. Smith. Smythe? So he's got cages, he's bribing officials, and he is purchasing children. This guy is bad news, and we're going to smite him. We are currently... So, let's see, I think this was the entrance over here. So this is where we want to go to turn to Burno and Guard Prosser. This is where we need to be in order to continue the quest. Like, this is where the guard is. We have to turn the evidence into. There is a shortcut to take us straight over there. We're going to go pull this lever. Okay, we're going to kill these 2 guys. Then we're going to turn this lever. And what this is actually doing, it's very hard to see if you're not looking for it. What that did was it opened this underwater door. I believe you can technically have come this direction. We could have jumped in the water, because we're going to end up in water again. Where am I going? We're going this way. You could have come this way into that room. But you can't go backwards through the whole quest because you can't climb up to that balcony we jumped off of to fight Palefire. So if you're doing the quest as intended, you have to go counterclockwise through the quest. Although you think you can get into there. I did see Strimtom do a neat little trick where I believe what he did was he took the water path and grabbed just the last piece of evidence and then dimension doored back to the start, and apparently you only actually need one piece of evidence. So he just went boop, boop, quest done. Neat. I like that there are those little tricks. His, I want to say it was on his hardcore fighter solo playthrough. So, I don't know what it would be in the level 15 range because he's only doing the quests that are worth XP for him. So, but yeah, if I remember right, he went through the water, went straight to the one evidence, dimension door back, and right out. So, guard lets us in. Oh, but before we do the guard, I mean, if we're going to do the quest the long way, we might as well get all of the optional stuff. Lever so we don't have to walk through the tavern, although it doesn't really matter. Just meat grinder the things that popped up in the tavern real quick. So there are... Hey, Mr. Guard. I found the gang. They're all dead. So unfortunately for them, they have been affected by the madness since I've left. So if you do both of their optionals, you get your XP all at the same time right here. You have to kill them. I do believe that Mr. Goodwick has not been affected. Probably because he hasn't been here as long. We got here at the same time. Whatever environmental effect is messing with these people hasn't got to us yet. Alright. Time to go kill Mr. Smythe. There is a shrine up ahead. And then we're going to drop down into the courtyard and meet the infamous Warforged in a Hat.
A solitary Warforged
there he is.
In the center of the courtyard. You have finally located the elusive
Here's the thing, though. This dude, that's not a Warforged. You can kind of see, but he's going to turn around here. Turn around. Apparently he does not actually turn around. He was actually a beholder that shrunk himself down and wore the beholder like a bodysuit. So now he's just a beholder. Well, not just a beholder. I should say this is the first chaos beholder that they put in the game. It does not have the anti-magic cone. Instead it has this chaos cone that I don't actually know what it does. Insanity. You want to... I mean, yes, it's a greatsword. Yes, we're a greatsword character. But it's nowhere near our weapon. It rages you sometimes. You lose. You can hit people to minus what? Yeah. I'll pick it up to throw it into the item grinder, but I want to say there's only like one item in this whole pack that I even think about. There's a pair of bracers that have plus 20 HP and some dodge on them. But outside of that, these items have been power crept for a long time. Alright. Turn in our quest. How's that for a story? Wisdom's going up, but I don't need necromancy focus. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but weapons sell for more than like clothing items. So if I'm just picking something just to sell it to the bartender, I just take a weapon because they sell for slightly more money. All right, we helped your reporter. What next? Now we go help a reporter. They're all going to be reporters. There's a news story. There's a mysterious warehouse. Not going to crash again, are we? Sinister storage. This is a very small quest. So, it's literally a one-room quest.
A man upon the upper walkway begins ranting at the workers below.
So, that's the boss up there. We step in and he goes, "Ah, who are these guys? Get rid of them." Okay, you're going to send warehouse workers to beat up a heavily armored paladin? Like, I kind of feel bad. We don't really get any backstory on these warehouse workers. Like, are they aware of what's going on here? Or are they literally just workers? And we're just like, hey, sorry, you picked the wrong guy to work for today. You're getting great sorted in the face. I don't know. We got what, five workers in here somewhere still? Any over there? Oh, there's one. You know, we'll just casually... I was going to say we're going to casually behead one. But we missed. We're too good of a paladin. We couldn't kill him. So now, out of the crates, bust a bunch of these taken things. So that's... Now we've crossed into evil warehouse. Like, obviously, this is not... I mean, I think the door, like the sign on the door said creative item storage or something like that. Come on, one more. Where are you at? Ah, stuck on the wrong side of the shelf. And now, he's going to send even more taken at us. But this time, they're going to have friends. So, Mind Flayer Mage. That one is probably the most dangerous thing in here because it could stun even me. The Thrak Hounds, dangerous, but if you remember to cast Death Ward, then their biggest spell can't hurt you. The Mind Flayer Mages, though, their spells could stun me, and then that potentially lets the other guys do some damage. Especially if they stun me and then go for the hireling, and then stun me again and surround me. Because these things are just going to... I mean, there's a limited number of them, but there are a decent number of them. Nah, you get out of here, Mind Flayer Mage. Alright, what do we got next? Destroy the Taken and the Greater Thrak Hounds. They're greater because they're slightly bigger. Imagine being the guy in charge of this warehouse, right? You have all these monsters at your disposal, and just one paladin walks in and uses Detect Evil. And you're just like, well, shit. And then he proceeds to mop the floor with all of the monsters you've been stolen, or you've been storing. Because remember, if we think about this in terms of like a D&D campaign or something, we're not destroying the evidence. The only reason there's not piles and piles of bodies here is it's a video game and they need to unload unused assets. There's piles of obviously evil bodies here. So, Morley Blode is going to run like a chicken because this thunder demon is going to try to stop us. Unfortunately for him, he's still made of demon, and we're just going to smite him. Like 2 seconds in, he's out. That whole quest was less than 5 minutes. We should, like, I killed him. We got another item. I'm not going to really use that one either. We're just going to walk out the front door, though. We don't need to use the recall button. So, I killed that boss fast enough. You know, we pop out here. We should be able to see Morley running somewhere, right? He ain't that fast. I'm slow. I ain't that slow. So we're gonna chase him. So we go talk to the editor for our next assignment. And she has tracked down Morley Blode's curio shop. I mean, she probably just used Stormreacher's version of Google and was like, Morley Blode. Oh. Shop's right there. But still. Very, very good chance that this is where he ran away to. Especially because we bust out of that door. We go, where'd he go? This shop is literally around the corner. This is probably real time within minutes of the end of the last quest. Boom! You can't have found me here in the store with my name on the front of the shop. Whack! I win. Here, let me get the door for you. It wasn't much of a concealed exit. He forgot to get through the door before he shut it. That should have been the end of the quest. Stab! Got it. Didn't get the insta-kill on the Mind Flayer. So, we're chasing him down. Turns out, weird, gooey, cocoon things all over. You have to kill these things. Each one of them has, like, something in it. Sometimes they're taken, and sometimes they're just people, like crazy people that haven't been turned into taken yet. You are required to smash all of these cocoons. Do not forget to smash the cocoons. Okay, you have to. There's a little bit of leeway, right? There's what, 3 left, 4 left. So it doesn't do me any good to kill the rest of them. But don't risk it, man. I have done this quest once where I don't know how I managed it, but I was 1 short. And I had to come back to the beginning of the quest to smash one of these because I got lazy. I must have just missed one in the other lab, because it says there's a second lab. Walking through goo, so we're even slower than usual. And then back to regular sewer. Hey hireling, watch out for the trap. Good old spiky trap that almost never hurts us. Rusted pipes, you have to literally smash your way through. And here, we got to drop that bridge, which involves flipping not only this lever, that'll do one of the two, we also need that lever down there. But there's a grate in the way, so you need to swim under the grate, around the pillar, then you get the lever. And then back around the pillar. Aim for the ladder. And then here we go. Ladder right here to get you back on the main path. And then we fight some of the guys with the worst timing in any video game. We're minding our own business, and some of the freaking kobolds pop in because they were going to... They were just trying to, like, squat in this place. They're like, ha! This is our new home. And like, if you guys would have showed up 5 seconds later, I would have had this entire place cleared out. Nobody would have cared you were down here. Got a nice little rune that opens up this door that we can feather fall down. I want to say hug north. North will set you on the ground here instead of splooshing and having to climb up the ladder. What is that? Ah. I thought I saw something. I don't know where all of them are, but there is this little Easter egg in this quest. A deceased acrobat. There's references to all of the original kids from the Dungeons and Dragons old Saturday morning cartoon. The acrobat got murdered by the rogue. You never find the rogue. What was her power? I think you do find the other ones. You find most of them as zombies, if I remember right. Get out of here, ooze. Arcane ooze. Remember, those guys will try to eat your spell points. Doesn't really matter to me, but... grind away some more of these. I feel like I'm going the wrong way.
Moans emanate from behind this locked door. It doesn't sound like the Taken, but it does sound.
I think that's the zombies of the other kids from the Saturday morning cartoon thing. I had a feeling I was going the wrong way. Because that one started bending back south, and I'm like, this quest basically goes one direction. Here's where we want to be. Okay. This, you don't have to jump in this water, but you have to smash through these pipes here. Because if memory serves, this is the second lab. Door shuts, Taken pop out, we kill the Taken. Then the door magically opens again. That's a video game thing, right? Kill the enemies to open the door. It's probably more like they don't want you to have to stop and look for the lever to open the door every single time. So they're skipping the part where you search for the button. You just can't do the search while in combat. Right? I do that to my players. Like, no, you can't search in combat. An actual search action in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, it takes 10 minutes. You've got 6 seconds to do a turn in combat. You can't search mid-combat. Not if you want to use your full bonus. Like, you can make like a perception check to see if you just get lucky and look straight at the thing you're looking for. But there's a reason that you're supposed to do that outside of combat. It takes time. That's why you don't get to take more than one action. And why bonus actions were kind of a bad idea the way they were implemented. Let's see. Now that... Okay, that's on optional. Okay, optional. Destroy any more cocoons. Whew. We have successfully taken out both labs. Now we just go up the ramp a little further. And this is going to take us to Morley. Around the corner, there's your shrine. We're going to do another drop into some sewage. Some well-drawn sewage. Let's be real. The green is the perfect color, and then the purple here is just like, yeah, like this is the... It's the runoff from, like, the crazy Xoriat experiments in addition to being a sewer. Like, somebody had to put thought into that, and I'm glad they did, because it makes sense. And it gives this quest a little bit of a unique look, because where else are you going to find goo like that? I want to say we should be at the end of the quest here. One more drop and we're at the boss.
This downspout has no ladder down the shaft. Once you go in, there's no way back up. You have caught up with Morley,
so there's...
but he is not alone.
There's the guy.
Of a mind flayer stands
and then there's the real threat. The Mind Flayer Yaldun. So, we don't even get the pleasure of stabbing Morley. He gets mind blasted by the Mind Flayer, who is also just a hologram, by the way. Not a hologram, but like he's a projection. He's not actually here, so I can't stab him. So instead of, you know, ending things here because the guy's a coward, he disappears, throws some more crazy dudes at us, and I mean, that guy didn't even get up. Kind of another wave fight. There's going to be a big fancy taken is the boss once these guys are out of my way. There he is. Nyhoden. I mean, he just looks like a taken to me. But he does this roar thing that knocks you down. Which really just makes the fight take a little bit longer because he stops taking damage when he does it. And spin to win.
The horror Nyhoden is destroyed, and the Mind Flayer mastermind who commanded them both has been...
I was going to say, we're going to go 3 for 3 on named items. Alright, one quest left. I don't know where that last cocoon is. I must have just overlooked it. I thought I'd whacked them all as we went, out of paranoia. But oh well. We have one quest left in this chain. Nothing fancy there. I didn't notice that there was a weapon to take until after I clicked on that. Alright. We've got a lead. One of their reporters, Hector Hyssop, thinks he might have found where the Mind Flayer is headquartered. Out in the Harbor View Lofts. Apparently we just walked into one of the apartments, or maybe this is the lobby. Boop. Get our buffs up. Actually remember Death Ward for once. Open the door. And then what's this? Well, obviously we're in the right place because the Mind Flayer is talking to us psychically from wherever he's hiding. So we definitely found him. So now, I mean, not only do we know he's here, but we're being attacked by greater Thrackhounds and demons. Yeah. No more opening doors. Doors go splat. So this guy's whole shtick is he fancies himself an artist. So he is like remaking people into these posable putty men. A lot of which will attack you if you actually get close enough to him. Yeah, he's not crazy because he's probably just kind of close to normal for a Mind Flayer. By our standards, super crazy, right? Like, of course, he's taking people and mutilating them and putting them on display. But if we're being honest, isn't that kind of what taxidermy is? I mean, how many, like, bearskin rugs have we seen? Or, more common, antlers on the wall. I cut this thing's head off, and I am displaying it on the wall in my living room. It's kind of what he's doing. The thing is, he's a Mind Flayer, right? So he doesn't really look at humans as fellow sentients. In terms of his culture, that's probably fine.
In the Hall of the Absurd, you will find former Stormreach denizens going about their daily activities.
Alright, so we've got yet another wave fight. So I'm just going to kind of stand in the middle here. Wait for all of these guys to break out of their little glass displays and run over here to attack me. Go on. That one's the next one. Hey, attack that one. Good job. Attack that one. That's worth a try. Ah, lagging again. Alright. I do like this. Obviously, this is going to be the door that opens. I do like this mini-boss. He amuses me. I don't really like sitting around here waiting on the waves. I don't mind the warehouse quest, right? Yes, it's another wave thing, but it has the number of creatures remaining right on there, and it's not a big number, and they spawn really fast. This one, they have to kind of, they strut out from the back room before they walk out here, and then they aggro, and then run over here. It's like, okay, this takes a little bit too long for how few bad guys there are. Still not done. I don't think this is the optional for this room. I think it was just in general. Yes, he put even more taken out of their misery, so there's at least 58 more of those things. Not in the wave fight, but in general, it's like, come on. Give me a gong, spawn them all at once. I don't like waiting, and I don't like backtracking. So here we go. We've got Pixel. The Chaos Beholder. Alright, now that that's dead, we run around the outside. If you want the shrine, Gotta pause for a second so they can break the glass. It was weird that he died. Or the guy behind him died before he died. Open doors the fun way. So now we got one more little leg we gotta run through. We have to get that. We have to get that crest of the octopus because mind flare. We need it so we can get in the door over there. So we're going to break down this way. Kill a bunch of stuff. Go around the corner to get it. Then walk back. Not sold on this quest really needing the little extra little artificial length to it. I do like that they lampshade it. He basically says, tee-hee, I put the key over there. Ain't I a stinker? Specifically to make us run through a couple more hallways of his guys. Like, he did it on purpose.
Your simple mind does comprehend what to do with that, right? The crest goes in the socket.
So he's taunting us psychically the whole time. Trying to make us feel dumb. Because mind flayers, they're almost always like wizards, right? And, you know, because wizards' main stat is intelligence. And they eat brains. They think that they're the smartest, but I mean, yeah, I only have a 9 intelligence on this character, but we're in 3rd edition, baby. You know how easy it is for anyone to just be like, I decided to have 30 intelligence. I'm now the smartest person in like a 40-mile radius. Even if it was like a pretty big city, like any player character could very, very easily be the smartest person in any given city. The private showroom is just ahead. If you are up to a challenge. There is literally a plaque right here that you can read that says, "Warning! Do not disturb the powerful, angry soul within." Dead Pixel. Get it? Because the beholder's name was Pixel. Dead Pixel, like on a TV. Unfortunately, this is a real beholder. I mean, it's a doom sphere. But it has its anti-magic cone, which knocked all of our buffs out. And he just kind of lasered the hireling. You saw how long that thing took to take down. It's got a lot more HP. How did I get hit with anti-magic again? Weird. Anyway. We'll pick up the soul stone, drag it with us. There is a shrine, like, right here. Alright, go put your face back on. Go. Cast your heal spell first. Anyway. Is it worth it to do the guy? Probably not. But I do like the pun of Dead Pixel. It makes me smile. I think there should be more little bonus bosses in dungeons, especially ones that don't involve having to go super far off the beaten path. Like, yeah, put a sign on the door. That's fine. Give me another hoop to jump in now and then when I'm running through these quests, especially this one.
You're just going to beat them up. This is why we can't have nice things.
This is my least favorite part of this chain. It's funny the first time, but man, it goes so slow. He literally puts on a fashion show of all of his taken wearing different hats. Get out of there, Haystack. Haystack. We're watching the fashion show. Look at this dapper man in his top hat. We really do just sit here. They've got the blinking lights going. We ready to fight now? Okay. Sorry, guy in hat. Sorry, other guy in hat. And then I'm gooey. Hireling, laser that thing. I don't have a great ranged weapon, but I guess we're throwing hand axes to knock the ones off the top. It's another wave fight though, so this is gonna... Now you shoot. Thanks. Another wave fight. It's the second wave fight just in this quest, right? Give me the button to spawn them all at once. While I'm waiting around, I will say there's another optional thing. When we were on the second floor, like going and getting the octopus crest, if I remember correctly, you can actually throw yourself off the balcony into the center that was gated off and swim underwater, and there's a couple puzzles and a couple mini beholders. I don't remember what the point of it was other than, hey, look, you found a secret thing. I found it once. I thought it was interesting that it was there. Like, it's a bizarre extra.
Such harsh criticism. No matter, I will find ways to put my creations back together once I disable you.
Are you showing up to fight us now? There we go. So he shows up in person finally. And then he cutscenes us to death.
Yolthun reveals himself at last.
Stabbing pain as he overpowers your mind.
He overpowers your mind.
Except I cast protection from evil, which is supposed to block mind effects. I also have Death Ward up, which stops them being able to eat my brain in one hit. I'm also a paladin, generally resistant to all evil things. So anyway, this has got an interesting boss fight to it. Okay,
The Mind Flayer has brought
credit where credit is due. We don't normally get to do the cool boss fights. They're normally raids. This one's not a raid. You actually get to do this boss fight.
so you must find another way.
We're on this psychic hellscape, and there's the big old, like, I'm in control because it's the mindscape guy. What you're gonna do is not die to the random taken. You know, we should probably put acid resistance on Haystack. Just to keep us from taking a little extra damage. So he's gonna shoot these orbs.
Yolthun's attack causes a nearby pod to burst, dispersing the psychic energy.
So you put the you put these little ball things. These are other people's minds and memories and stuff he's trapped. Put them in between you and the ball. It'll fly over and break the ball. I do believe you also need to be careful not to damage this boss too fast. This is a little glitchy. So, looking at him, he's got the mage armor effect up. He is vulnerable when it goes away. So it just went away because I broke a thing. So we're going to go up here. We're going to do some damage. I'm not using my smites because I don't want to break the quest progression by killing him too
More
fast.
vulnerable pods appear as Yolthun draws on his psychic reserves. His trap is weakening.
So we're going to again just put the pods in between us and him. Beat him up until he starts talking again. He tried some anti-gravity stuff. I don't know why, because we have Featherfall. Because that's like the one thing that'll never hurt us.
Do you feel no remorse for destroying my life's work? Civilized. I cannot allow you to get away.
And then just, oh, he teleported. So when you see this big attack thing, you can actually run up and punch the fragile brain pods. And he gets stunned. Like, you do bonus damage if you take those things out and stun him. Okay. He successfully did not break the quest.
Gibberish incomprehensible even to the natives of Xoriat.
This is a relatively long quest, and it's, I mean, how long does that? 17 minutes? I've done that quest just coming back and doing it for favor, and I punched him too hard because I was like a level 30 monk just coming back here on elite just for the favor, and I punched him too hard and he skipped one of his little scripts and I couldn't complete the quest. I had to restart. But we're at level. Like, we're not epic level going kerbonk, here's 50,000 damage, so a little safer. Alright, so we've taken out Yalthun. People are no longer going to be abducted and turned into gross science art experiment things. There's actually something about that quiver. So, there's actually named items in this, I guess you'd call this the Arc Giver. Bow of Sinew's not bad if I remember right. It's not amazing, but out of the very few quivers in the game, don't take this one. It looks like it's cool. When it's equipped and an enemy hits you, there's a chance that the item will produce a stack of 20 arrows of a random type. It's like, cool, it's a quiver that's just going to keep giving me more arrows. That sounds cool. Until your goddamn inventory is full of random arrows that don't stack, because this thing can only carry 10 different kinds of arrows, and there's way more than 10 kinds of arrows. Okay? There's +1 arrows. There's +2 arrows. There's +3 arrows. You know, and then there's +1 acid arrow, and +1 frost arrow, and +1 fire arrow, and then +2 acid arrow, and +2 frost arrow, and you get the picture? Your inventory is going to get screwed, because this thing does not stop when the quiver is full. It just fills your inventory forever. So I don't take that. I don't take that. We don't need any of this, but I'll take the bow because it's pretty. I suppose that's worth something. Because there are mirrors of glamoring, if you like the look of a bow, like, this is a pretty cool model for the bow. You can use that little cheapo DDO store item to transfer the look of that weapon onto another weapon. Some of the named items in this game have unique, like, looks to them, so even if you're not going to use it, sometimes they look pretty. Another good example here of just taking items for their look. The other thing we got, Insanity, that great sword. Look at this thing. It's huge. This is your Buster sword, right? This is your overly large, giant, ridiculously big sword. So there you go. If you want a sword that is even more ridiculously great than your standard great sword, you can take that item, use the Mirror of Glamoring to make any great sword look like that. What do I think of this pack? This pack is okay. It's like, the quests are fine. I like the spooky atmosphere. They were really trying to lean into like the body horror. This pack is missing a Delirium quest. Delirium is the best set of quests. And the first Delirium quest is a free quest. So it feels like that quest is supposed to be the first quest for this chain, kind of. I grouped them together. On my list anyway, but yeah, these quests are super pushed out because Sharn, if nothing else, is at this level range. You're never going to go out of your way to do these quests. The items are super power crept. The last quest, I like that we get to do the boss fight. I don't like that you have to do 2 different wave fights, even short wave fights, and then you still have to sit through the cutscene, and then it gets buggy at the end. This one you should probably just skip. That's, but it's not bad. If you really like the whole Mind Flayer thing, it's not a bad pack. I'm not saying never buy it. I'm just saying skip it. Yep, and that's all for me for now. We're gonna go to an oldie. Next time, we're gonna go visit the Vale of Twilight. It recently to where it came out, it got an update. So it now has an epic version of its raid, which I've never played, but also 2 new quests. They're not free quests, but they were added to that pack, so if you already had the pack, they were kind of free for you. They're level 15. That's the level we're at, so we're going to go do the whole Vale of Twilight right now. So look forward to that. Thank you for watching. We'll see you then.